Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Jesus Duran, and for the next few minutes, I will be saying a concept that hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you will all have learned something from it. My concept is about the process of changing tires. Now, allow us to begin. Now, the wheel has been around for centuries, and it is considered the greatest invention by man to date. Now, unfortunately, tires don't last forever, and you have to find a way to properly make them last longer and to be able to replace them. Now, in my presentation, I have 3 points of view that I would like to share with everybody here today so they may know how to better themselves. The first point is by the actual process how to change a tire. The second, by knowing what tire best correctly fits your vehicle. And third, by knowing how to prevent all of those scenarios from happening, by knowing how to take care of your tires better. Let us begin with the first point, the process of how to actually change a tire. Now, the main goal here is you take the deflated or battered tire and you replace it with the replacement or newer one. To do this, there are some few steps. First, you should know on your vehicle that you have a flat tire somewhere. Second step, if you are driving on the highway or on the street, you should pull over to safety in a parking lot or on the side of the road. After that, you get out of your car, you go into your glove compartment and you get out your jack or cat, as it's also known, and you get your replacement tire as well. After that, you go to the battered tire, you put the jack right next to it, you push down in order to lift the car up, and with that, you unscrew the tire from its bolts right here, and then you replace it with the newer tire and screw it back in with the bolts right here as well. After that, you push the jack up in order to lift the car down, and finally, you clean everything up by putting the jack back in your glove compartment in the back of the trunk with the tire as well. Now, obviously, not all tires will fit your vehicle the same. There are some that are better than others, and which brings me to my second point of this presentation. You should know what type of tire fits best for your vehicle. The first step is you should know what type of vehicle you have, such as a van, a car, or a truck. Just to name a few examples. After this, you should know what type of tire you're looking for, such as in transportation-wise, do you want something that's fast with acceleration speed, or you want something that's durable that will last you for a while? And finally, you might want to look at a way into investing into some winter tires. Because depending on your geographical location, sometimes it might snow or it might rain a lot, or if we're going on a winter trip, the place you might go in, it might be snowing a lot too. So it all really depends on what type of place you're living in at the moment. And finally, my final point in this presentation is all of those scenarios take a lot of time and effort and a lot of your hard work and money. And there are simple ways one can take to prevent that from happening, which brings me to the final point, the many tips on how to prevent all that from happening, such as, for example, the first step is you should always check your tires' pressures, such as if they're too high or they're too low. That's a good indication that they might be too inflated or too deflated, and they might pop out of nowhere or they might deflate out of nowhere. Your second step is you should always rotate your tires. Statistically speaking, your first two tires always do the most work, while the back two don't. So it's always really efficient if you can change them. And finally, you should notice for any discoloration and any smudges or anything that might be stuck on your tires, as it's also a good indication that it also might pop at any moment if it's tarnished with. And all of these can be found on websites to build the credibility of presentation, such as the first point, such as on dnb.org, where they have a full catalog and full list on how the process of how to change the tire in more detail. Or you could always go to consumerreports.org, where they have another section of what type of tires and what type of brands, such as Goodyear, Michelin, and Pillareni, just to name a few. And the third point, followed by autoeducation.com, where they also have another section on how to prevent and keep not only your tires clean, but your whole vehicle in check. You all know the 3 steps to how to the process of changing tires. Let us reiterate them real quick. The first step is the process of changing tire. The second step is what type of tire fits best for your vehicle. And finally, how to prevent all of that from happening by knowing how to take care of your tires better. You all know all these steps now, and I hope you've learned something from this. And I hope that in the future, when you're driving or when your parents are driving, you take into consideration all of these details and all of these steps so that you may better yourself off and make sure you're not stranded. Thank you all for your time, gentlemen. Thank you very much.